I know how frustrating it can feel when your nights no longer bring the rest you once enjoyed. You lie down hoping for peace, but only a few hours later, you find yourself awake again, walking slowly to the bathroom, holding onto the wall for balance. By morning, you feel heavy, your eyes are tired, and even your favorite cup of coffee or chai does not bring back the same energy it once did. You are not alone in this. Millions of people over 60 in both America and India quietly struggle with the same problem. They call it nighttime urination, but for many elders, it feels like something even bigger, the loss of truly restful sleep. And yet, very few people ever talk about it openly. Today, I'm going to show you how one powerful nut, simple and familiar, can help calm your bladder, relax your body, and give you back the deep, continuous sleep you deserve. It is not about medicine or complicated routines, just a gentle change that works with your body, not against it. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this video from and what time is it right now? Leave a comment below. I can't wait to see your answers. And if you enjoy this video, hit that subscribe button. If not, just give it a like. It really helps this channel grow. So stay with me because this small step could bring back something priceless, peaceful nights and brighter mornings. The silent cause of nighttime. Urination. For many older adults, the hardest part of aging is not the gray hair or stiff joints. It is the nights that no longer feel restful. You close your eyes, hoping for peace. Yet, only a few hours later, you are awake again, shuffling toward the bathroom, wondering why your body refuses to stay asleep. What feels like a minor annoyance at first slowly becomes a serious disruption, stealing the deepest and most restorative hours of rest. One of the key reasons lies in a quiet hormonal change involving vasopressin. In younger years, vasopressin works like a night watchman, signaling the kidneys to slow down urine production so the bladder can remain calm. But after 60, the body produces much less of this hormone and the kidneys continue filtering at nearly daytime speed. The bladder fills too soon and urgent messages are sent to the brain, pulling you out of sleep before your body is ready. That single shift sets off a cycle of exhaustion, foggy mornings and nights that never feel complete. At the same time, the bladder itself becomes less patient and more sensitive. Where it once held 14 to 16 ounces, later in life, it may only tolerate 5 or 6 ounces, barely half a glass of water before sounding the alarm. The nerves inside no longer wait for fullness. They push you to wake at the slightest stretch. Combined with falling hormone levels, this explains why so many seniors find themselves making multiple trips each night, even when the bladder is not truly full. Stories from both America and India reveal the same struggle. A grandmother in Ohio thought broken sleep was just her destiny. In Delhi, a retired banker drank less and less in the evenings, only to discover that his bladder felt even more irritable once he lay down. These experiences highlight how common the problem is and how often the real reason remains hidden. The hopeful truth is that waking to urinate at night is not an inevitable fate. It is a signal that the body has changed and signals can be managed. By shifting fluid intake earlier in the day, adding foods that calm bladder muscles, and creating gentle evening habits, you can reclaim the deep, peaceful rest your body still remembers. Once you understand the silent causes, declining vasopressin, shrinking bladder capacity, and heightened sensitivity, you hold the key to brighter mornings and quieter nights. Meeting the powerful nut, your silent ally. When people talk about healthy foods for older adults, they often think of fruits, vegetables, or maybe a glass of warm milk before bed. But hidden in your kitchen cabinet may be something far more powerful, a simple nut that quietly supports your body each night. Almonds, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds are not only tasty, they are rich in magnesium, tryptophan, and zinc. Three nutrients that play an essential role in calming your bladder and guiding your sleep. Many seniors overlook them, choosing lighter evening snacks instead, but these nuts are more than just food. They act like natural helpers, gently preparing your body to stay asleep longer and wake up with energy instead of fatigue. The nutritional profile of these nuts is impressive when you look closer. A single ounce of almonds provides around 80 milligrams of magnesium, enough to make a real difference in how your muscles and nerves behave. Walnuts carry valuable tryptophan, the amino acid your body transforms into chemicals that influence mood and sleep. Pumpkin seeds are full of zinc, which helps regulate the immune system and supports hormone balance. Together, these nutrients create a powerful combination that reduces nighttime awakenings, lowers anxiety around broken sleep, and restores a sense of control. While many older adults turn to pills or teas for rest, the truth is that these humble nuts offer benefits in a form the body knows how to use naturally. The science behind this is straightforward, yet remarkable. Magnesium works directly on smooth muscles, including those in your bladder, helping them relax instead of contracting too quickly. This means fewer false alarms waking you up in the dark hours. Tryptophan found in walnuts and pumpkin seeds is converted into serotonin, the feel-good chemical, and then into melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it is time to sleep. By raising melatonin naturally, these nuts help your sleep cycles become deeper, steadier, and less likely to be disturbed by unnecessary bathroom trips. Zinc quietly supports this process, ensuring hormone levels remain balanced and your immune system stays strong. Together, these nutrients turn a handful of nuts into a nightly ally, one that works gently without side effects and with benefits that extend far beyond just sleep. Let me share two real stories that bring this knowledge to life. In Texas, a 72-year-old retired nurse named Margaret struggled for years with broken sleep. She often woke 2 or 3 times each night, frustrated and drained by morning. At her daughter's suggestion, she began eating a small handful of walnuts an hour after dinner. Within 2 weeks, she noticed a difference. Her bladder felt calmer, her sleep more continuous, and she even described her mornings as lighter, almost like I'm younger again. In Delhi, a 68-year-old grandfather named Arjun faced the same issue, rising several times each night and feeling embarrassed about disturbing his wife's rest. After adding soaked almonds to his evening routine, he reported sleeping 5 hours straight for the first time in years. He said softly, "It feels like my body has remembered how to rest." These stories remind us that aging does not mean giving up the right to deep healing sleep. With something as simple and natural as the right nut at the right time, you can guide your body back toward balance. And when nights become peaceful again, mornings bring not just energy, but also the quiet confidence that you are still in control of your health. Why? Nuts help. Keep the bladder calm at night. 1. of the quiet benefits of certain nuts is the way the minerals relax the muscles inside your bladder. Magnesium, found in generous amounts in almonds, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds, acts almost like a natural muscle relaxer. The bladder is surrounded by smooth muscles that contract when it feels full, but in older adults, these contractions can become overactive, creating the feeling of urgency even when very little urine is present. By adding foods rich in magnesium, you give those muscles a chance to settle down, reducing the false alarms that wake you in the middle of the night. This gentle support allows the bladder to hold a bit more before signaling, helping you stay asleep longer and with less disruption. Beyond calming, the bladder nuts also carry compounds that improve the quality of sleep itself. They provide tryptophan, an amino acid that the body converts into serotonin and then melatonin, the hormone that guides your sleep-wake rhythm. As melatonin levels rise, naturally, your body is able to move into deeper stages of rest, where healing and memory repair take place. For older adults who struggle with light broken sleep, this extra support can mean fewer awakenings and more hours of uninterrupted rest. When you combine a calmer bladder with a brain guided by melatonin, the result is not just fewer bathroom trips, but a night of sleep that finally feels complete. It is also helpful to compare these benefits with foods that may do the opposite. Many seniors enjoy citrus fruits such as oranges or pineapples in the evening, or a fresh tomato salad with dinner. While these foods are healthy in many ways, their natural acids can irritate the lining of the bladder, especially in older adults whose tissues are more sensitive. Acidic urine makes the bladder nerves react strongly, pushing you to wake up even when the bladder is only partly filled. That is why someone who ends their evening with citrus often finds themselves waking around 2 or 3 in the morning, while someone who chooses a handful of nuts may rest much more peacefully. Take the story of Robert, a 70-year-old retired bus driver living in California. For years, he ended his evenings with a small bowl of grapes, thinking it was a light and healthy snack. But every night without fail, he woke up 2 or 3 times to use the bathroom. He assumed it was simply age catching up with him. When a friend suggested replacing the grapes with a small handful of walnuts, Robert was skeptical but gave it a try. Within 1 week, he noticed a remarkable change. His bladder felt calmer and he was waking only once. After a month, he reported sleeping 5 or 6 hours straight, something he had not experienced in nearly a decade. He described the feeling in simple words. I finally wake up refreshed instead of waking up tired from the night before. Stories like Robert's remind us that the choices we make each evening can either trigger restless nights or support peaceful sleep. By leaning on foods that relax the bladder and increase natural melatonin, and by gently avoiding those that irritate you, give your body the best chance to rest. Nighttime trips to the bathroom may feel like an unavoidable part of aging, but with small adjustments like swapping grapes for walnuts, you can take back control. And with that control comes something priceless: nights of deep healing rest and mornings filled with a little more energy, hope, and ease. The best time and way to eat nuts. For older adults, timing makes as much difference as the food itself, especially when it comes to calming the bladder at night. Eating a handful of nuts right before bed may sound harmless, but it can overload digestion and disturb your rest instead of protecting it. Experts suggest enjoying about 1 ounce or roughly 28 grams of almonds, walnuts, or pumpkin seeds after dinner, but at least 2 hours before bedtime. This window allows the body to absorb the nutrients without straining the stomach while you are lying down. It gives magnesium and tryptophan time to circulate, setting the stage for a calmer bladder and deeper sleep. Think of it as preparing your body for the night ahead rather than reacting in the middle of it. The way nuts are prepared also plays a crucial role in how your body receives their benefits. Many seniors struggle with slower digestion, which makes raw almonds or heavily salted nuts harder to tolerate. Soaking almonds for 6 to 8 hours softens their skin, making them easier on the stomach and gentler on the digestive system. Lightly roasting walnuts or pumpkin seeds brings out their natural flavor without damaging the nutrients, but be careful not to add too much salt. Excess sodium increases thirst, and that extra fluid intake can undo the very benefit you are seeking. By keeping the preparation simple and mindful, you turn a healthy nut into a nightly ally instead of an unnoticed trigger. Pairing nuts with the right foods further enhances their power. Instead of acidic fruits like oranges, pineapples, or raw tomatoes, choose gentler companions that do not irritate the bladder. A slice of ripe pear, a few cubes of papaya, or a small serving of steamed vegetables create a calming balance. Some seniors enjoy their evening nuts alongside a cup of warm, caffeine-free herbal tea, such as chamomile or tulsi. These pairings avoid unnecessary acid and stimulation, giving your bladder the quiet environment it needs. It is not about restriction, it is about smart choices that match the way your body changes with age. Imagine a peaceful evening routine built around these simple habits. After an early dinner, you enjoy a small bowl of lentil soup with steamed vegetables, followed by a slice of papaya. An hour later, while watching television or chatting with family, you eat a handful of soaked almonds or roasted walnuts. Alongside you, sip a small cup of warm chamomile tea, avoiding cold drinks that might irritate digestion. By the time you prepare for bed, your body has already absorbed the nutrients. Your bladder feels calm and your mind feels ready for rest. Seniors in both Texas and Delhi have shared how such routines not only reduced their bathroom trips, but also restored confidence that peaceful nights are still possible. With mindful timing, careful preparation, and the right pairings, a simple nut becomes more than a snack. It becomes a steady partner in your journey toward better sleep. Other habits that support deeper sleep. Good sleep is never the result of just one change. It often comes from several small habits working together in harmony. One of the most important adjustments for seniors is learning when to drink water. During the first half of the day, especially before 4 in the afternoon, aim to drink most of your fluids, about 40 to 50 ounces, spread throughout morning and midday. After 7 in the evening, gently taper your intake to only small sips when thirsty. This shift allows the kidneys to process fluids earlier and keeps the bladder calm during the night, reducing those frustrating wake-ups that so often disturb rest. Dinner also plays a quiet but powerful role in how the night unfolds. Eating too late or choosing foods heavy in salt and watery soups can create thirst and bladder urgency long after you have gone to bed. A lighter meal eaten early, perhaps around 6 or 6:30 in the evening, supports digestion and prevents the bladder from being overloaded while you sleep. Choosing steamed vegetables, a portion of lean protein, or a small bowl of rice with lentils is easier on the stomach than a salty curry or broth-filled soup at 9 at night. By respecting your body's slower pace, you create the conditions for steady restorative rest. Even the way you sleep can influence how many times you wake up. Many older adults lie on their back, which increases pressure on the bladder and encourages more frequent urges. Health experts suggest resting on your left side with a small pillow tucked gently between your knees. This position eases abdominal pressure, supports circulation, and keeps bladder signals quieter. A proper pillow under your head, not too high or too flat, also helps align your spine and prevents unnecessary strain that could wake you before morning. Consider the story of Mrs. Johnson, a 71-year-old widow living in Florida. For years, she believed waking every 2 hours was simply her fate. But after shifting her water intake to mornings, eating an earlier, lighter dinner, and adjusting her sleeping position, she was astonished by the change. Within just 2 weeks, she was sleeping 6 hours straight, for the first time in more than a decade. She told her daughter, "I thought my body had forgotten how to rest, but now I feel like I finally have my nights back." Her experience is proof that small, consistent habits can bring back the peace you thought was lost. With mindful choices each evening, your nights can once again become a time of comfort, not interruption. Common myths about nighttime urination. One of the most widespread beliefs among older adults is that drinking less water during the day will mean fewer bathroom trips at night. At first glance, this seems logical, but the body works differently than we expect. When you do not drink enough fluids earlier in the day, your blood becomes slightly thicker and your kidneys are forced to work harder in the evening. This extra strain often leads to a burst of urine production once you lie down, causing even more interruptions during sleep. Seniors who restrict water intake too much may also feel dizzy, weak, or constipated, which only adds to their discomfort. The smarter approach is to drink steadily throughout the morning and afternoon and then gently reduce after early evening. By keeping your body hydrated in the right rhythm, you actually lower the chance of nighttime urgency. Another common myth is that nighttime urination is only a problem for men because of the prostate. While the prostate can certainly play a role, especially in older men, women also experience frequent awakenings to urinate. For women, bladder sensitivity, hormonal changes after menopause, and age-related shifts in kidney function can all create the same cycle of restless nights. Sadly, many women dismiss their symptoms, thinking it must be normal for men, not me, and they delay seeking help or making lifestyle changes. The truth is that both men and women can face this challenge, and both deserve solutions that address their specific needs. Recognizing this fact helps remove the unnecessary stigma and opens the door to better care for everyone. A third misunderstanding is the idea that all fruits are good bedtime snacks. While fruit is generally healthy, certain acidic varieties can quietly irritate the bladder lining and trigger nighttime urgency. Oranges, pineapples, and raw tomatoes may be refreshing, but their natural acids can lower the pH of urine, making the bladder more reactive. For someone over 60 with already sensitive tissues, this means an unnecessary trip to the bathroom at 2 or 3 in the morning. Gentler options like pears or papaya are far less irritating and provide nutrients without disturbing your rest. Choosing the right fruit at the right time can make the difference between a peaceful night and a broken one. Understanding these myths is not about blaming yourself for past habits. It is about giving yourself the tools to improve your nights going forward. By staying hydrated earlier in the day, recognizing that bladder changes affect both men and women, and being mindful about evening fruit choices, you can take real steps toward reclaiming deep healing sleep. Nighttime urination does not have to control your life. With small informed adjustments, you can guide your body back to balance and wake each morning with more clarity, confidence, and energy. A sample 24-hour routine for peaceful sleep. The way you structure your day has a direct impact on how your nights unfold, especially after 60. Begin the morning gently with a full glass, about 8 ounces of plain water, right after waking. This helps the kidneys flush early instead of waiting until evening. Follow it with a 15-minute walk, even if it is only around your yard or down the hallway, because movement keeps circulation steady and prevents fluids from pooling in the legs. For breakfast, choose protein-rich foods like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a small bowl of oatmeal with nuts. A strong morning foundation sets the tone for a calmer night. Through the late morning and early afternoon, continue hydrating steadily, aiming for 40 to 50 ounces of water before 4 o'clock. This timing gives your kidneys hours to process fluids before bedtime. Pair the water with light bladder-friendly fruits such as pears, papayas, or apples, which deliver fiber without acidity. Lunch can be simple: a balanced plate of vegetables, lean protein, and whole grains, but keep it moderate, not heavy. By spreading hydration and nutrition evenly, you prevent the late evening surge that often disrupts sleep. Evenings are the time to slow down. Eat dinner early, ideally around 6 or 6:30, with smaller portions to avoid pressure on the bladder. Add a handful of almonds or walnuts as your after-dinner snack, allowing their magnesium and tryptophan to begin working before bedtime. As the night approaches, keep fluids light. Replace late coffee or juice with warm caffeine-free herbal tea if you need comfort. Finally, spend 10 minutes before bed practicing slow, deep breathing, calming both body and mind. By respecting these small rhythms, many seniors in both Florida and Delhi have rediscovered what they thought was lost 6 or more hours of quiet, uninterrupted rest. In New Jersey, a 72-year-old man named Richard struggled for years with restless nights. He would fall asleep easily, but within hours, he was up again, walking slowly to the bathroom 2 or 3 times each night. The interruptions left him exhausted during the day, and he often avoided social outings because he felt too drained. At the advice of his doctor, he began replacing his evening cookie with a small handful of walnuts. Within 2 weeks, Richard noticed the change. He was waking only once per night. The calmer bladder and deeper rest gave him mornings that felt lighter, and he told his wife, "It feels like I've been given back a piece of my life." Across the world in Mumbai, a 68-year-old grandmother named Asha faced a similar problem. She believed her broken nights were simply part of aging, and she quietly accepted the fatigue that followed her into each morning. Then, her daughter encouraged her to try soaking a few almonds overnight and eating them after dinner, while also moving her main water intake earlier in the day. Within 10 days, Asha experienced something she thought was lost forever: 7 straight hours of uninterrupted sleep. She described the feeling with tears in her eyes. "It's like waking up in my 40s again, fresh and ready." These stories, though separated by continents, carry the same message. Seniors in America and India share a quiet but powerful wish, the desire to sleep through the night without fear of being pulled awake by the bladder. The solutions are not complicated or costly. They are gentle shifts in habit, rooted in foods and routines the body can trust. And when older adults see the results, whether in New Jersey or Mumbai, they are reminded of something hopeful. Deep rest is not gone, it is waiting to return. Once you give your body the right support. Let's take a gentle pause together as we close. Today we talked about how something as simple as choosing the right nut at the right time can calm the bladder and support deeper, more peaceful sleep. These are small natural steps you can try, but please remember they are for general guidance only. If you have ongoing symptoms or any health concerns, it is always best to speak directly with your doctor who knows your body and your history best. Before we part, I'd love to know what topic matters most to you next. Type 1 if you want to learn more about weak bones and how to avoid broken bones. Type 2 if memory decline and dementia are on your mind. Type 3 if you would like tips for boosting brain power in your everyday life. And as always, if you found today's message helpful, please subscribe to this channel, tap the notification bell, and share this video with a friend or loved one. Together we can keep building a community where every night feels calmer and every morning begins with a little more hope.